Artur Beterbiev accuses Dmitry Bivol of ducking him and basically not trying to make the fight happen sooner. He knows that he wants to make the fight now, but Beterbiev has been saying that Bivol has basically been beating around the bush and not been forthcoming about trying to make the fight. Said he's been waiting a very long time, and that he hopefully after his next fight that Beterbiev and Bivol fight will come to fruition. I've been saying this in my video. Bivol has really been avoiding this man, especially with the opponents. See, I always listen to what kind of opponents guys are really looking towards facing. And when Bivol said, "Well, I would fight Jermell Charlo at 168 if he wins the belts." Really? You'll fight Jermell Charlo at 168? Why would that even be an option? Dude, you're like 50 pounds heavier than him. Especially on fight night, you're going to be about 200. Why are you trying to fight him at 168? And when I heard that, I said, yeah, Beterbiev, he's basically got this man in the chokehold as far as not wanting to fight him, because there's no reason why you should go around. You got one fight for undisputed. You and Tyson Fury going around. And I won't blame strictly the fighters. I know a lot of promoters are basically telling these guys what's best for the situation that they're in, which I understand that. But to have Beterbiev out here just searching for a fight, and he already has Bivol at his disposal, that's a waste of time. That's why a lot of these guys don't really usually get fights, because all this time we're using just to wait on them. He said all Bivol does is talk about the fight, but he never fights. I don't know. He talks about the fight, but he never fight. Ask him. That's what Beterbiev says about Bivol. He always talking about fighting, but he never fights. And Beterbiev, he has a defense against Callum Smith on January 13th. That's not really an ideal fight for me, seeing that Canelo already beat Callum Smith, but I'm not gonna say he has no chance. I'm just saying that he's not really someone that I would consider a huge threat to Beterbiev at this point. Not with the way he's talking. I wouldn't be too happy about putting my money down on that situation. If I had to go with it, I would just pick Beterbiev, especially with the competition he's faced. I don't think the Gilberto Ramirez fight really left me with an impression that Bivol was someone that Beterbiev needs to fear. He is a threat. His boxing skills, high IQ, all those things. But the high IQ is the high IQ is the number one reason why I'm saying he probably doesn't want to fight him. You know what I'm saying? This could have probably been a trilogy or something. They could have probably had 3 fights already. That's what these guys don't realize. Waiting on one big fight, you miss out on a lot of big fights. So that's one thing that I realize that people don't even notice. See, we have to watch out for sometimes of these guys who go down and wait, or they fight guys who's lighter than them. Sometimes we have to wait. Have to watch out for that. That's why, as much as I like Canelo, and I like Bivol too, I enjoyed the Bivol and Canelo fight. But as much as I like it, man, sometimes I feel like it's 2 guys who just fought undersized guys in the past. Whether it's Bivol fighting undersized Canelo or Canelo fighting undersized Amir Khan. Those things right there just let me know that certain boxers are just built for certain things and some guys aren't. I don't know if Bivol is built for that kind of stardom to where he would just try to walk through a division like how Tim Tszyu and other guys have done. It only takes a certain kind of boxer to say, you know what? I know it's 4 belts out there. I'm trying to walk through every division. I'm trying to take out every guy that's around. I want to be the cream of the crop, the top guy, basically of my era. And to be honest, the only guy who's actually doing that is Crawford right now. Tim Tszyu, those type of guys. I can't say Canelo because he was at 154 and 60, and he was at 47. And he didn't clear none of those divisions out. He didn't get undisputed at those divisions. He really didn't put in as much work as he's trying to put in now at 68. After Benavidez cleaned up everything. See, I don't like that. I feel like a lot of guys now, they're trying to see, even with what Beterbiev did. Beterbiev has put in more work than what Bivol has done at their weight at 175. So why would I sit up here and just try to follow a guy around or let him build a name off of me and you haven't put in no work? Yeah, I'll fight you, but don't try to use my name like Beterbiev saying, like, he talks about the fight all day, but he doesn't want to fight. Like Beterbiev, like, I don't talk about fights. I don't talk. I don't do no lip wrestling, none of that stuff. Like these guys, Janovic and all these other guys are doing. Beterbiev comes to fight. That's one thing I've noticed about him. He doesn't say much. He's a fighter. He let his hands do the promoting, and he don't really do too much talking. And that's one thing I respect. That's why I currently got him as the favorite for the fight. Just because he's not calling out guys at 54, 60, 68. He's not doing any of those things. He probably has called somebody out 68, Canelo, probably. But Beterbiev will fight anybody, man. Let's just be real. He's fought a lot of good competition. The experience he has is way past what Bivol has. I don't feel like Bivol is currently on any kind of direction as far as he hasn't really solidified what direction he's trying to go into to become either undisputed or to become one of the greatest at the weight class or the greatest of his era. It's only certain guys that actually do that. And I know another thing, Bivol, the only reason I feel like Bivol's even going up to 75, even trying to pursue the undisputed fight, because people have heard rumblings about David Benavidez going up to 175 soon. And when Benavidez said recently, I want to face off against Bivol. Now, I can appreciate he didn't say, well, I feel like I can crush Beterbiev. No, he didn't say that. He doesn't know. But he does know he has a chance against Bivol. And I feel like when Bivol's people heard that, they know David Benavidez just as well as we do. So when they heard that, they realized. Oh, okay. So they realized basically he's not a threat to us as far as right now, but down the line, Benavidez is going to be a threat. Beterbiev knows, okay, well, I'm just waiting on whoever I fight. I don't know who's going to basically fight. And Bivol's in the picture now. Well, he talks about fighting, but he never fights. So I can't really rely on him. That's why if you always look around, Beterbiev always has a fight scheduled. Always. He always knows who's going to fight. He'll wait on a guy. If it is Bivol, he'll probably wait about a couple of days, a week, then he's on to the next guy. He's a very older guy. He's closer to 40 than he is to 30. So I don't feel like he's going to be out here waiting on the next opportunity of who's the best guy and who's more advanced and what fight makes the most money. He doesn't really care about all that right now. And then when we look back in the years, bro, we're gonna remember all the guys who was chasing money and the guys who were. And that's not a problem with chasing money. Everything's a money maker. This is an economy. Everything's a business, a corporation, an entity. Everything. But one thing you have to know is, in the fight game, you have to fight to making money. You can't talk to making money. It's a big difference. And there's a lot of guys going around now that's just talking, not really making anything happen. So with that being said, I feel like Beterbiev is basically in the driver's seat, and this Cullum Smith fight is just not going to do anything but just keep him fresh and keep him active. It's going to help him out as far as that. That's not good for anyone else, especially Bivol. Bivol has to get in the ring ASAP, and he knows it, or he's going to be behind the 8 ball. Then he's going to want to push back further, and I need one more fight and things like that. So hopefully things come together, but we need to see some kind of movement going on as soon as possible. We can't rely on these just American fighters to make the big fights. Then you got guys in Europe, they want to sit on the undisputed fights at 175 and at heavyweight. It's embarrassing now. It's starting to become obvious. If y'all want to keep the belts hostage in Europe, stuff like that, okay, it's cool. Okay. How did that work out for the 2000s in boxing? When people were saying boxing was dead, where were the belts at? Who held the belts and where were the belts at when boxing was dead? They didn't build a zone then when the Klitschko's was boxing. So let's be real now. Come on. Let's giddy up. Let's let's get behind the 8 ball. Let's make it happen. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.